Hello, it's Jodie here, one half of the Roaming Income Girls, and I've got quite the task ahead of me in this video because I'm going to show you as much as I possibly can that doesn't cross over the NDA requirements of the plan, which is showing you any of the settings on how these bots work. But I'm going to do my best to take a high-level overview to sort of zoom in and show you straight into my own account here and explain a few things of what's happening that maybe might answer some questions that you have with regards to whether the plan is right for you or not. So having a look here, first and foremost, you actually get to see the average daily trading time. And you'll see here that the oldest bot that I currently have, because I did something very bold just last weekend, and that was to close down all of my bots. I made this decision after actually going through the phase 4 training. I wanted to be able to start with a clean slate, had a little bit of a mindset shift around the capital that I've got here and how to make that money work for me, because there were a few bots that were out of range. So really, you're looking at less than a week. So just looking at 4 days, 20 hours, 4 days, 2 days, 2 days, 1 day. And so far the bot profit is $509 off 5 bots. Now that is not usual all the time. It's definitely because I have taken on board some of the lessons out of the phase 4 training that was recently just delivered. And everybody who joins the plan will get that. It may not be straight away because you need to go through phase 1 first, but there's been some really powerful stuff in there, and definitely some extra ideas on how to earn a little bit more than sort of what is the average, and the average is still very, very good when you compare it to any other kind of investment strategy. But yes, I'll just sort of wanted to kind of give that bit of a disclaimer that what the numbers that you're seeing here are quite possibly not normal, okay? As for what the benchmarks are, I mean, Dan talks about that inside of the plan, but just to sort of run through and give you an example of why I've chosen these particular coin pairs. So this bottom one here was actually a coin pair that I did have running before I shut my whole account down. I shut all the bots down, sorry, and wanted to start again. But it had been doing pretty well, and I decided to what they call regrid it and put more money into it. So this is the first time in the whole time I've been doing the plan, which started mid-2021, that I've actually put on a $5,000 bot. So if I actually just click on here and look at the admin area, it's in this section here that says the initial funds were $5,034. Okay, so that was the value of the bot when I started it, and it's now currently valued at $5,300, and that's only 4 days, 20 hours, so almost 5 days later. So I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, it's sort of the psychology of going from a $3,000 bot to a $5,000 bot was just to experience it, because I hadn't experienced it before. I wanted to actually see, how much more the profits are, whether it's sort of worthwhile doing this. A lot of our bot buddies, kind of get into the plan. They're like, well, if you're starting with a $3,000 bot and it's doing really well, why don't you add more money to it? And I've always sort of said, look, rather than do that, why don't you put on another bot so that you get like that little bit of a portfolio effect, or sort of diversifying. So really, more than anything, I just wanted to have the experience directly myself to see what a $5,000 bot was. Now in doing that, it meant that I had a little bit less capital to put into another one of the bots. So let me run through what I've got here now. This particular bot is what's called a HODL bot. I did actually have the DOT, which is the polka dot, and Bitcoin in my exchange already. So I thought, well, maybe a way to keep it is to actually have them doing their little micro trades, and I'll make some money on that. So in 4 days, I've made $44. Sort of, you would go along the lines of, it's nothing really to write home about. But if that continues, let's say it is just that roughly $10 a day for 30 days, for 12 months, then over a 12-month period, an investment of $3,000 is going to give more than 100% back. So that's just sort of how you have to kind of reframe it sometimes, looking at it, and not just do the human nature thing of always wanting more, more, more. Now, this next one up here, this is my little testing ground, and it does go outside of the rules of the plan. I want to make that really clear. The reason is because I put some extra capital into this other bot that is doing really well. And this is what is the third style of bot that we only learnt about in phase 4. So I guess you could say I was just wanting to test this out. So it's almost 3 days now and the numbers are insane. I have definitely taken on board the training, looking at the timing, looking at the right sort of coin pairs. You know, we've been really good at picking coin pairs this whole entire, it's almost been a year now, and I still scratch my head as to why people think that they need to get the coin pair research done for them, which is something you do get by joining the plan, at least for a couple of months. But there's no need to continue on with that when you're a part of our Bot Buddies community, because we do share what we find, and Nat and I are pretty good at finding good coin pairs. So this one has been a kicker. So you'll see here that the value is only 1,169. I need you to keep this quiet because I shouldn't have put on $1,000 or $1,100 bot, okay? But I was doing it because I just wanted to get in and test it out. And I think there comes a point where it's like we're all grown-ups and we get to actually experience with, you know, different things with our own money. But this has actually proven to me directly now why exactly that Dan suggests making $3,000 bots. So what I'm going to do in this one is scroll down and actually show you these transactions. Now, to get this style of bot, which is what's called a leverage bot, it's not doing leverage trading, it's just a type of coin. It's a different type of coin you have to use different settings for. But to get this leverage bot, I had to go to a different exchange that actually charges me fees. In my main exchange, I don't pay any fees because I hold some of the exchange's in-house token, and I can show you that as well. But in order to get these higher profits, I've had to come over to a different exchange. And you can see that the fees here in USDT, which is equivalent to US dollars, for every single trade is 1.3 cents. So it's like 1 cent per trade. And the profit when I make the sale was 11 cents, but that's the net profit. So it would be the equivalent of saying that the profit was like 12.5 cents. But you'll see that I'm actually paying like, you know, 1.2 or almost at 1.3 on all the buy trades as well. So this has been quite fascinating for me because it means that, you know, it's okay that I'm getting a profit when I make the sale, but every time I'm making a buy order, I'm paying a small fee as well. So this to me is kind of like proof in the pudding that when you're still going to be in profit, like you're still actually ahead, absolutely. But yeah, for me, this was really sort of like the proof that instead of only making a trade that is worth, where's the value of that? So this is actually showing that it's buying the amount of coin, so it's nearly 25 near coin, and the price was 51 cents. So because the bot itself was only started with $1,100, then each of the trades is, on this case, only down to about $11 or $12, maybe even a bit less. So therefore the profit has to be less as well. So this is sort of one of the reasons why Dan definitely makes the recommendation of $3,000. You know, don't freak out if you go to start the bot, and because Bitscap will only allow you to do 95%, sometimes people start their bots with 2,700, 2,800. It's not a big deal, okay? Don't get stressed out over that kind of semantics. But yeah, this is interesting. So I'll actually be closing this down and looking at moving some more money in so that I can actually start it at its proper price point, which will just help buffer those extra fees that I'm paying. So this particular bot here, again, was just one that I had previously. I already had the coins there. I really want to hold those coins. I don't want to sell them. So this is just a way to make a little bit of extra money. And this is another style on a different exchange of these leverage coins, and, you know, trading at 1.4% for the day so far has made $33. And again, this one was a little bit less than the $3,000. But let me just show you on this one in particular, because it is the same style of leveraged coin, and it's being run from my exchange FTX, which is my favorite exchange. And the reason that I decided to hold on to a few of the in-house tokens is because it's paying for itself by not having any fees on all of these little trades, but on top of that, I get to move money. Like, even when you've had the experience of moving Ethereum from one exchange to another, it's usually a hefty fee involved. I pay no fees. So that's another reason why FTX is my exchange. This is different to FTX US. So if you're from the US and watching this, don't think that you can go and get an FTX account. You would need to have an FTX US account, and currently BitSCAP is not hooked up to that, but it's coming. They've had so many requests that it will be coming. So you can see here that my fee, and it doesn't matter if I'm selling or I'm buying, is 0. So that makes a big difference. So on this particular bot, I'm just making a clear 18 cents profit on each of these small little trades. And it did start with 2,300. Shh, don't say anything again. But it just comes down to what I had available. And one of the reasons is a couple of these are a little bit less in value as well, is because I had lost a bit of value through this down market that we've been going through for the last few months. But I wasn't bothered about losing a bit of value, because I know that these types of profits, I mean, even to look at $500 in less than a week, then that's recouping the loss in value pretty quickly. And I'm happy to stop the bot and put it on so they get back up to the value that they're meant to be, because I believe that this is a good market now for starting, because it's going to be more of a sideways towards upwards. For those of us who had a lot of bots on when things went up, and then there was a big crash in December, it's kind of like the value had lost there a little bit. Well, actually, for some people, a lot. And Dan talks about you can make profit in a downward market. Yes, you can. But when it drops so dramatically, it's almost like the opposite of a moonshot. When it goes from being really high to really low, then there is 100% that you're going to get value loss. But of course, there's no realized losses unless you go ahead and sell and completely get out of crypto altogether. So what I want to do now, really quickly show you the actual bots that I had closed down, the ones that were like just below 8 months and then less from there. And the decision to do that was, a lot of them had lost a lot of value. So that means that basically there was crypto sitting there not working for itself. Like, the whole point of having this software is having the crypto actually do the work so that it's making the profit. So making the decision to close them down and restart, these are the sort of things that we can definitely help you with when you're part of our Bot Buddies community. And, just sort of like taking the knowledge that you get from Dan and then looking at, all the sets of rules and then making your own decision, again, because you are a grown-up and you are an adult and you can make these decisions. But it was a real light bulb moment for me to sort of see the switch between, okay, well, if the whole entire market's down, it's not just this coin that's down. If I, take that and move it into another coin that is already down, then I can start the bot and it can start earning money. So it's like, do I hold on to a bunch of tokens here that are not working for themselves and literally just waiting for the value to go up? I mean, that's what normal people do with their crypto when they buy crypto and hodl it. It's like, no, I want to move it over here and get it working for me again, because all of those little daily profits, like we're seeing on here, they add up over time, and that will then eventually, either A, bring my capital back to the value that it was at, or B, make enough profit to be able to put more bots on to be able to start that sort of semi-compounding type of thing. So let's just have a quick look at the spot history here. I'll just quickly change to the date just to show the main ones that I closed out. So these are all the bots that I actually closed down, and you can see here 7 months, 28 days, so just shy of 8 months. 7 months, 17 days, 3 months, 5 months, 5 days, 9 days, 1 month, etc., etc. So there's a few different ones there, and yeah, there were some big changes. So this one in particular, it had gone down in value 43%, but the spot profit is actually interesting because originally it was saying that it was 100 and something percent because I'd earned more in the first few months that it was running than what the bot was actually worth. So yeah, that was a fascinating one. It was a bit hard to close down because I liked it for that legacy aspect. But this bot here is just one that I'm about to regrid. I'm going to put it back on again. It was literally one of my little winning bots that lasted a very long time, but it had been out of range for a bit at the end. Oh, and this is the one that I've just regridded and put more money onto because it actually really was doing well. So the decision to close that one, I mean, it was still active at the time, was literally just to be able to put more money into it. So as I said, you learn to make these decisions along the way. And to be honest, this past almost 12 months now at the time of this recording has just been just amazing to be able to, you know, tap into the mindset of a true investor and somebody, you know, who really believes in the crypto space, but along the way is making money with it as well. So I think it's super important to be choosing the right team to hang out with. We, again, are a very small group. We're not like those big influencers out there who don't even have like a spare second to give you even to answer a question. And, you know, even though the Rapid Crush support ticket system, the email ticket system is good, nothing beats having a real person to have a conversation with. So when it does come time to make all these different decisions, you know, getting your bot started even to begin with, it is terrifying to do the first two things, but over time you get your bot confidence up, and yeah, again, just being able to speak with other people, see what they're doing, see what they feel. Again, this is never anything about financial advice, of course, but having direct experiences, putting on your big girl pants and giving it a go. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video, and I do hope it's been helpful. Thanks for watching.